This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Coming up on Sunrise this morning, Portland's police say there's been a rise in people flagging down drivers for fake car emergencies, then apparently stealing the driver's belongings. What you should look out for when you're on the road. Plus,
why would I want to do this anymore? Like, there's not a lot of joy in it when you've worked this hard for this long and there's this major pervasive problem that I don't know how to handle.
Yeah, that woman is closing up her shop at the Washington Square Mall after a string of shoplifting incidents over the past year. How many times she was robbed and how much thieves stole from her, coming up in just a moment.
and check out this video of a water rescue near Eagle Estate Park. The Coast Guard from Astoria saved 2 surfers who were stuck holding onto some rocks in the water. We'll tell you how the Coast Guard found them right in the nick of time.
It is a Monday morning here on the Sunrise Show. Apparently Brenda Braxton thought it was still the weekend. Brenda
Yes.
taking today off, good for her. Rodney Hill working today, talking about that Monday forecast.
We missed Brenda, but it did open up another parking spot down below. So there is that.
The Brenda B spot.
There's a look at our radar this morning. I tell you what, this really chilly weather pattern for March just keeps on keeping on. Again, today we will see highs only in the mid to upper 40s. Normal now is all the way up to 55 degrees. You can see the white gray tones. Those are scattered snow showers being picked up on the radar, including over the West Hills. It's mostly been rain showers moving up and down I-5. We're keeping an eye on temperatures that are in the 30s. There could be a couple of freezing spots. I think Silverton's been down to 32. Yeah, there it is right now. That's Decatur at 33. But Salem's at 37, and most of us will hold above 32. 43 at noon, 46 at 5 p.m. So again, don't be surprised if you see a snowflake early this morning. If you open up some sun breaks in your neighborhood this afternoon, that could lead to heavy downpours with hail and maybe a rumble of thunder, and that's your forecast.
All right, more from Rod coming up here shortly. Right now, though, we start our local news headlines with a warning from Portland police. Investigators are looking for multiple suspects who they say created fake emergencies involving other people's cars as a way to rob those people. So here's a look at 3 examples of this that police say happened in the span of just 30 minutes yesterday afternoon. In one case, the suspects told a woman that her gas tank was smoking. When she got out of her car to look, they stole her purse. Later, the suspects told another driver that their car was on fire, and when that driver got out to look, the suspects jumped in and stole their car. Police say in all 3 of these cases that we have on the screen, the victims gave similar descriptions of the suspects and their vehicle, but police still haven't provided us with the details of those descriptions.
The Tillamook County Sheriff's Office is thanking their Facebook followers for helping them recover a stolen boat yesterday. TCSO says a Facebook follower recognized the boat from the agency's social media post, then alerted them. Within a few hours of that post, 2 men were arrested for the theft. The boat was initially taken from the port of Garibaldi early Sunday morning and was returned undamaged.
All right, our next story this morning is about Portland's problem with retail theft, which we know extends well beyond city limits.
We're taking a look at a part of Kyle Eboshi's latest KGW investigation, where he talked to a small business owner in Tigard who is now closing her store because of rampant theft.
When Consign Couture owner Tamara Young expanded by opening a shop in Washington Square Mall, she hoped it would bring more eyes to her merchandise, including luxury clothing, shoes, and handbags. What she didn't realize was many of those watching were thieves. Over the past year, crooks have hit the upscale consignment store 19 times, stealing more than $56,000 in merchandise.
The amount of work that goes into running a small business, down to the research and tags and training to do this the right way, and then someone just like steals a day's worth of like all your work. It's like, what's the point?
These criminals often work in teams. One person may act as a lookout or distract employees, while others rip off expensive items like handbags, which are presumably resold.
These things that they've taken, they believe that they can sell quickly themselves on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace and wherever else.
The store owner has tried to prevent shoplifting by putting bags in locked cases, displaying a single shoe, not a pair, and installing security cameras.
I just don't think it derails these like very brazen thieves. They're like, great, there's a camera. What are you going to do about it? You're not going to stop me.
In a series of reports over the past 6 months, KGW has documented the impact of shoplifting or organized retail crime throughout Portland. Retailers have been forced to hire private security guards, lock down items, change store layout, reduce hours, or simply close their doors. As we've witnessed, criminals, largely driven by drug addiction, are literally stealing merchandise off store shelves and walking out the front door with little or no fear of being arrested or prosecuted.
Well, what do we do then? Because it's happening, and every store is kind of like fending for themselves and handling it on their own.
So what we just saw there was only part of Kyle's investigative report. He also got insight on the problem from a loss prevention expert, and he touches on what Oregon lawmakers are trying to do to help solve this issue. You can find Kyle's full report right now at KGW.com and on the KGW YouTube channel.
Now to today's morning headlines. Extra law enforcement and counselors will be at Cascade Junior High School today after 2 students were arrested over the weekend. According to the Marion County Sheriff's Office and the Cascade School District, one of the students threatened to take a gun to school over text. An 11-year-old boy was arrested at his home yesterday afternoon and faces disorderly conduct charges. Police say they didn't find any weapons on him. Meantime, a 12-year-old boy was also issued a citation for disorderly conduct. Starting today, Amtrak will resume its direct route from Portland to Vancouver, BC. Service to Seattle continued last fall on the same route, but the last stretch has remained closed since Canada closed its border due to the pandemic. Today, the first train from Canada is expected to arrive in Seattle around 10:30 this morning. And today, the first Rose Festival Court Princess will be announced. From now through March 24th, students across the area will find out if they're royalty in this year's parade. Here are some of the big dates to put on your calendar. The City Fair kicks off May 26th and runs to June 11th. The Fred Meyer Jr. Parade is June 7th, with the Grand Floral Parade happening June 10th. And those are some of today's morning headlines.
All right, now to the Oregon coast. Coast Guard crews rescued 2 surfers yesterday afternoon near Ecola State Park in Cannon Beach. So the Guard says someone heard the surfers call for help, and that's when the Guard was called into action. Those surfers, you see, were able to grab onto a rock while they were stuck in the water there. The rescue crews managed to reach them by helicopter, hoisting the surfers up and getting them to safety. The surfers were taken to the hospital, and we're told that both of them will be okay.
Wow, look at that video. It's always so interesting when the Coast Guard has those shots from above, kind of hoisting those people up out of the water.
So that was yesterday along Cannon Beach, right near Ecola State Park again. Rod Hill in this morning talking about our weekend weather gone. Week ahead, what's up?
Same weather though. So is the weekend weather's not gone? Yes. Does that make sense? I'm getting tired.
You know what we're saying,
I'm getting punchy
Rod.
because I'm getting tired of this chilly weather pattern.
I love you.
Outlooks, I love you, man. Outlooks still show that we have well below normal temperatures most days, potentially all the way into mid-April at this point. We were seeing the bright moon. Now the clouds are starting to cover it up. There's Haystack Rock from our Cannon Beach camp. 42 is the temperature at the coast. Upper level low sitting offshore, spinning showers inland. And the low centers are being strong enough to keep shower activity alive overnight. I thought last week maybe the lows would not be strong enough and the night times would go fairly quiet. That hasn't happened. So just kind of continuing showers 24/7 between today and Wednesday. At night we'll see some snow mixing in. You can see in white some snowflakes there, but mostly rain in the valley. And then during the day today, if we open up sun breaks, didn't really do that much yesterday, but if we would, that would lead to some heavier showers. It could produce some hail and rumbles of thunder. All of this is because the air up top is still really, really chilly quickly. 37 in West Lynn this morning, 36 out in Forest Grove. Salem 37, Portland, Kelso in the upper 30s, similar at the beach. It is freezing out in the gorge. There's the Dows at 32, our Futurecast movie. Again, these bright colors show the potential for some heavier showers during the day. I mean, we've had our fair share of some pretty hefty hail showers, at least in the region the last couple of days. That chance certainly continuing. Here we are at 4:30, scattered showers coming and going, same thing this evening. And then at night, again, don't be surprised if you see a snowflake out there. Temperatures continuing to run well below normal. Normal is now 55 degrees. We're mid to upper 40s today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Overnight lows generally low to mid 30s. Winds southeast 5 to 15. That does show Salem 49 this afternoon. Potentially Longview 47, potentially similar conditions north and south up the I-5 corridor. So I'm just going 32 to 48. through Wednesday. Rain will pick up Thursday and Friday as we start to leave the cool pool of trough behind, or air, I should say, and then we open up some approaching weather systems. Right now, Saturday looks to be the drier of the weekend days. Sunday rain and getting a little bit warmer, up to 52. But by then, the normal high will be 56. So we're still not quite making it, are we? Oh, man.
Okay, so really interesting to see all those highs, like the same every day. Okay, thank you so much, Rod. Coming up next on Sunrise, this week we are taking a closer look at mental health in Portland Public Schools. Today, we're giving you an overview of what to expect all week long as we visit an elementary, middle, and high school and sit down with students and counselors.